Hi my friends, it's been a while since I made a video and yeah, as I said in the last one, life is very exciting, I feel. I feel that we're moving ahead. Humanity is awakening, and when we see it all from our heart, life is becoming more and more beautiful. And we are discovering our own beauty, our own magnificence. But this is not an easy process, as I've said many times before. And yeah, as I've also mentioned, in the spiritual realm, all the beings that are not physical, they're looking at us with absolute awe and respect, because this is just really, really difficult what we're doing. So yeah, and I just want to, with my videos, whoever I can lend a hand or just give some sort of support on their journey, that's a really, really wonderful thing. So what happened to us? Why is this so difficult? So going back to the very, very start of all of this, millions and millions of years ago, if there was linear time, which there isn't, but once upon a time, to go back to the very beginning, there was just consciousness. And consciousness wanted to experience what it was like to become physical, and to really go to experience life on all levels, in all dimensions. And so this is how I see it, and I just believe it's true, that consciousness is what we call God. It's the source of all. It's the deepest and the greatest and the most profound, unexplainable power of love and creator joy. And it was in this, it was just consciousness. It was just this airy, fairy thing. And so one day consciousness chose to become physical and went poof, and the physical realm was created. And so this is really, really hard for the human mind to comprehend. But everything really is God. It's God expressing itself, consciousness expressing itself in all these, I mean, uncountable, numerous ways. And you and I are this little aspect of the one creator. So we are, on the deepest level, we are God himself, herself, experiencing life and expressing ourselves right here where we are. And when we go into more detail, which we won't do, but just to shortly mention it, we're really not here only. So in this human body, in this human life, we feel this is us and this is all there is of us. But since we are the eternal source of all, we are God Himself, herself, we actually live in many different dimensions at the same time. But there's a reason why we are in this physical form right now. You are in your life, I am in my life, and I think we get the greatest benefit and the most joy from just focusing on this life where we are right now. And we can be open to the fact that we are in many different places at the same time, but there's a reason why we're in this form right now where we are. And some go so far in this, on the spiritual journey, in the spiritual community, they go so far as to say that there is no such thing as you and me. We're really not here. It's all just one made-up thing. I think that's just making everything too difficult and too abstract. You can feel you're there in your world, in your life. I can feel I'm here, and everything around me feels very real. I feel very real when I have a feeling, just sensing it, what it's like to be here and to be with you right now. I have a feeling that's very real. So if someone wants to say it's not there, that's okay with me, but I just don't experience that. So I think so just going back to what happened when God became physical and you and I were created in this, let's just say, in this world. We came into the physical matter because we are souls. So at the very beginning of time we were souls that also were consciousness. So we are this little aspect of God, this little soul, and we have been on a long, long journey in many realms where we weren't physical, but we had many different experiences. And right now in this lifetime we are here in the physical realm. And what's very special about Earth is that every soul is given free choice. And so some say this was all a grand experiment, that the consciousness wanted to have a place on in creation where we were all given free choice. So everywhere else where all these souls are living, there's not free choice. So as humans, we're given free choice. We can choose to do what is selfish, egotistical, and harmful, maybe to others and to ourselves. So in simple terms, we can go down the route of darkness, or we can go onto the path of light, which is the path of God. So we can go into non-God, which is just a lack of God's light, or we can go the path of God. And Jesus came, all the masters came to teach us and to tell us to turn around and leave the darkness and go towards the light and realize that we are the light. Because what happened on earth was that we went into this very, very, very deep darkness. And that's what we're all recovering from now, and we're all leaving. And that's why this is very difficult, because we have been in darkness for so long, and we have got to a point where we not only hate our neighbour, but we actually hate ourselves. So this is the really, really, really dense, very, very evil place where we have all been. for a very long time, and we're leaving that place. But because it's been going on for so long, it feels very real, and just like all habits in life, it's very hard for us to just leave it and to just turn towards the light and just discover that we are the light and live in the light. So as I see it, the main problem for us human beings is that we have this hatred and this non-love for ourselves. When we're very judgmental towards others and we think badly of them, we judge them, we put them down, we think it's towards them, but really it is towards ourselves. So the reason why it's very difficult for us is that we have this very, very just not kind way to see ourselves and to treat ourselves. So we can see this and describe this in many ways and find ways to help ourselves out of that very, very dense, very dark way of being. And we can talk about self-love and speaking kindly to ourselves. And this is all part of the journey. When we realize how unkind we are towards ourselves, we will be shown different ways to start the process of returning to love again. So going back to the fact that we are a little aspect of God, and God himself does not have judgment or hatred towards himself, because that's just not possible. But he has allowed parts of himself, herself, to go and experience what it is like to hate yourself. So in a way it's a big lie, but in another way it is an experience that we are having that is part of the wish of consciousness to grow. Because we know in life that hearing about something that's terrible, reading about something that's terrible, is never the same as experiencing it ourselves, firsthand, on our own body, in our own mind, in our own emotions. And that's what we're going through now. We're experiencing what it is like to have non-love towards ourselves. And to give ourselves that very, very difficult way of living, where we're always, in a way, putting a big wall in front of ourselves so we can't move forward. And that wall is our self-loathing, self-resistance towards self. Those words inside us that are saying, you're not good enough, you're not enough, it's never good enough, why don't you do something different? All these words of condemnation, of pulling down, is this wall that we set up in front of us. So that for many of us, we're going in a ring, we're going around in circles, because this wall is so dense and so strong. And it's been there for so long that we don't know it's there. But as we awaken, when we're ready, the wall will start crumbling, and a landscape of love and joy and wholeness will appear on the other side of the wall. And that, we realize, is our true home. It's our true identity. That landscape of love where we are a part is where we belong. And that's our natural state, where there is no self-loathing. There's no resistance to self. There's only self-love, self-acceptance. We set ourselves completely free to just be. So one of the first steps on this journey is to just is just to really realize, listen to our inner voice, to our inner conversation we have with ourselves, which is really the ego. The inner voice is really our, as I see it, the spirit, the voice of the spirit. But the voice of the ego, which is always talking in our mind, unless we learn to quieten it, the first step for us to just is to really listen what it's saying. And we will start hearing it. In the beginning we can't hear it because it's been so going on for so long that we thought it was us, but it wasn't. It was a lie. It was the lie of self-hatred, of non-love. So as we awaken, as we start to do good things for ourselves, teach ourselves to relax, to wind down, to just do nothing, just feel ourselves, we can start hearing this voice that's going on, that's telling us we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we don't deserve a good life, we just have to struggle. We don't deserve good relationships, to be treated well. And that we just have to get on with life. So when we hear this voice for the first time, it's really, really a breakthrough. When we can sense that that voice that's talking so badly towards me is not me. It's a habit. And I can let it go. And this is what happens when we learn to start to relax. So we can also say that the first step on this journey of coming back to love is to just relax. Just relax. Let go and relax. And we sink out of this outer self into our inner self naturally. It's like something's been holding us out of our inner self, and that string or whatever it was that was holding us out there loosens as we just let go. We say, okay, I'm going to relax now. Then those strings, they just loosen, they just let go, and we sink back into where we came from, which is our true natural self. And that true natural self is our true, authentic, holy self. It's our God self. It is, we're returning to the essence of not only ourselves but of everything, because as we are a little aspect of God, we are one with all. So as we sink into the essence of everything, which is love, which is truth, which is wholeness. In this place there's no such thing as judging ourselves or others, banging ourselves on the head. It doesn't exist, because it just is love. It is truth. It is wholeness. It is peace. And so this process of leaving the darkness and returning to the light can be done in thousands of ways. But one component will be in all the different paths, and that is relaxation. Let go and be. Just be you. So everything I've explained now about all that happened might not be true. This is just how I see it. So it's not really important what happened. The importance is that we all learn to let go and to return to our true, authentic self. Just let go of all the noise, all the chaos, all the negativity, all that does not feel peaceful, deeply, deeply peaceful. Just let it go. And we cannot avoid returning to the source. And this is where our new life starts. So beforehand, when we were living in this very negative state of mind, we were getting our energy from many different places out here, stimulated by all sorts of usually quite negative things. But when we sink down into this inner place, we start to be nourished from the source. So it's like this deep well of love within us. We return to this deep well, this spring, this eternal spring that's inside us. We return to it, and that's where we get all our nourishment from now on. Here we can drink, we can eat, we can I often, in my brain retraining and these exercises I do, I see myself floating, and I call it the lagoon of love. And I see myself floating, just naked, floating in this turquoise, crystal clear water with completely white sand on the bottom. And I see this as the source of all, which you can call it it's the lagoon of love, I call it. It's really God Himself. It's just an image of God. And I'm lying there, I'm floating, looking up into the sky, feeling the beautiful, warm, gentle rays of the sun on my skin. And I'm just floating in this lagoon of love, feeling the peace of all peace. Feeling, because this is the source of all, so this is where the deepest and the most profound peace is. And I just feel how I'm being filled with it. The divine peace is filling me. Every cell, every organ, every atom of my being, every part of my mind, every part of my spirit is being filled with this eternal light love, peace. And I just lie there, feeling how beautiful this feels. Realizing that that is really all I need to do. So, going back to my life, when I leave the exercise, I might have the sense of lying there still as I go about my day. I'm still lying in this blue lagoon, being completely nourished and filled with the nourishment that is really my core essence. So I stay there in my consciousness just as a background feeling. I'm still there. I don't leave it. And so this sense of deep, profound peace, which is just flowing through my body, through my system, through my mind, is giving me the energy to do what I do in life. And when I do something, I know deep within my being, it's not very important what I do. The main thing is that I feel the peace. I feel that this is the what is fueling this deep, profound peace and love is energizing me. This is my true source of energy. This is fueling me to do what I'm doing right now while I'm doing this video. Right in a little while when I go out to feed my sheep, go out and feel the rays of sun on my face on this cold winter day, I am constantly in the state of deep, divine peace. And now, the difference from some years ago, some while ago, and to now is that now I'm conscious of it. Before I was not conscious of it. And also now I'm getting better at it. So as we go on this path, this feeling of deep peace and well-being will be there for little moments. And as we practice, we become better and better at this, and we come to master this. We sense how it's there all the time. And how we are not only being fueled by this deep peace, but that this deep peace and love is who we are. And so this way, we have become our God self. We have left the darkness and we've returned to the light. We still go to the shops, we still go to our job, we still go and feed our animals, whatever we're doing in life. But we have changed because we've come home. We're no longer lost and in the darkness. We've come home to the light. And now we can start truly living our lives. So this is the plan, as I see it. This is the plan of awakening. That we leave the darkness and we come into the light. So, yeah, we become our divine selves once again. That's the self that we've been all along. We've just been lost for a long, long time. So, and of course, the way we shape our lives when we're in this state of consciousness can only be beautiful. The way we eat, the way we move, the way we speak to each other, the way we speak to ourselves, the activities we engage in, they can only be beautiful, full of the peace, full of the love, full of the wholeness, because that's what we are. We can only create more of what we are. So we don't have to worry so much about what am I eating, what am I doing, because it will, it's a very relaxed way of living, because all we need to focus on is, do I feel the peace? So the mind, in a way, is going to leave us more and more. This very controlling mind is not needed anymore, because we know for sure that our actions will come from the light, and they will only be creating more light. So it's very, very beautiful. So I'm going to go out and feed my sheep now, and yeah, it's a very, very beautiful day. So let's go and have a look at the day. See you, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you like it? Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. You like it? Beautiful, hey? Aye, it's so nice. Yeah. See you, my friend.